The journey to the edge, the journey outward. The journey into the unknown. The journey to the very edge of the Sun's domain. For more than 4 decades, Voyager 2 has been moving steadily away from us. Further and further still. Each year carrying it deeper into the cosmic ocean. Each year pulling it farther from the warmth and gravity of our star. It passed the last familiar planets of our neighborhood. It glided past the icy wilderness of the Kuiper Belt. And then, it pressed into regions of space that, until recently, belonged only to theory, mathematics, and imagination. When it launched in 1977, the world was different. Computers were slower than the simplest devices we carry in our pockets today. Communication was fragile, limited. And yet, humanity dared to send a small machine on an impossible journey. Voyager 2 was never expected to last. Its mission was bold but thought to be temporary. Scientists assumed its instruments would fail within years. They expected its batteries to fade. They imagined its faint signal would vanish forever into silence. Voyager 2 was meant to become nothing more than another cold, silent fragment of debris. Another forgotten relic lost to the emptiness. But it refused. It endured. It whispered across the decades. And what it whispered was not the fading pulse of a dying machine. It was something extraordinary. Something that forced scientists to stop, to listen, and to reconsider the very nature of our cosmic home. Voyager 2 had reached the edge. It had crossed into a new realm. And it revealed a truth long suspected but never before confirmed. The edge of our solar system is not soft. It is not blurred. It is a wall. That wall is called the heliopause. The invisible frontier where the power of our Sun finally ends. Where solar winds, racing outward at supersonic speeds, collapse and surrender to the raw and ancient forces of the galaxy. For decades, astronomers imagined this boundary would be gentle. Like mist dissolving into the air. Like a soft gradient where one influence gives way to another. But Voyager proved them wrong. The change was sudden. Sharp. Violent. As if the spacecraft had pierced through an unseen barrier. One moment, Voyager floated within the protective bubble of the Sun. The next, it was hurled into a vast and alien sea. Radiation surged upward by more than 70%. Plasma density spiked with shocking abruptness. Magnetic fields twisted and shifted into unfamiliar, chaotic shapes. Crossing the helipause was not like drifting into calm open space. It was like stepping through a doorway into a storm. The heliosphere, once thought of as vague and abstract, was suddenly revealed as something real. Something physical. Something alive. Inside this bubble, the violent forces of the galaxy are softened, weakened, muted by the ceaseless winds of our Sun. But outside, the mask is torn away. The galaxy reveals its true nature. Restless. Unpredictable. Hostile. For the very first time, humanity understood, our solar system is not adrift, unprotected in the void. It is shielded. Guarded by a fragile, breathing boundary. But that shield is not eternal. It is not fixed. It shifts, expands, and contracts with the heartbeat of the Sun. When the Sun grows fierce, solar winds roar outward, inflating the bubble. When the Sun falls quiet, the bubble shrinks, and dangerous cosmic radiation creeps inward, closer to Earth. And the shield is not symmetrical. It is stretched, distorted, shaped by galactic winds. Drawn out behind us into a long, comet-like tail. The protection around our world is not constant. The whisper beyond the wall, that fragility became shockingly clear in 2019. After more than 40 years of faithful whispers, Voyager 2 suddenly fell silent. Its instruments froze. Its voice was gone. For long, tense hours, engineers feared the worst. That Voyager had finally succumbed to the cold emptiness of interstellar space. That the machine had died, lost forever, drifting mute across the abyss. And then, suddenly, it returned. Without warning, its systems rebooted. Its signal reappeared. Voyager had survived. The official reports blamed aging hardware. Perhaps a software glitch. But buried in the data were troubling signs. Unexplained bursts of particle energy. Sudden distortions in the magnetic field. Sharp, unnatural spikes in radiation, moments before the blackout. Some scientists began to wonder. Had Voyager passed through an unknown storm of plasma? Through the fading remnants of a long-dead supernova? Or through something stranger still, something we had never imagined? Whatever the cause, Voyager revealed something profound. Interstellar space is not calm. It is not empty. It is alive. Its instruments recorded radiation that rose and fell like waves on a vast ocean. Plasma densities that surged in rhythm, as though breathing. Magnetic fields that jolted and twisted, as unseen storms brewed in the darkness. For the first time, we had direct evidence of space weather beyond the solar system. And then came the strangest discovery of all. The magnetic alignment. Scientists expected the Sun's magnetic field and the galaxy's magnetic field to collide violently at the boundary. Instead, Voyager found them aligned, curiously, perfectly, almost impossibly. As though they had been shaped to fit together. Two staggering possibilities emerged. Either the heliosphere has been sculpting the galaxy's field for millions of years. Or our solar system was born inside a region of space already aligned with the Sun. If the first is true, then our star is far more powerful than we ever dared to imagine. If the second, then our home in the cosmos is not random. It is ordered. Perhaps it belongs to something larger. From these revelations, a whisper spread among theorists. What if the helipause is not just a boundary? What if it is reactive? What if it is watchful? The sudden spikes in radiation. The sharp magnetic distortions. The uncanny alignment. All suggested the helipause might not be passive. It might function as a kind of checkpoint. A structure that reacts to anything daring enough to cross. If so, then Voyager 2 did not slip quietly into interstellar space. It announced itself. And that thought becomes unsettling when one remembers what Voyager carries. The golden record. A copper disc plated in gold. Etched with the sounds of Earth. With greetings in dozens of languages. With images of our world. And with a map pointing directly back to our home. Once, this record was celebrated as humanity's greatest message of hope. A declaration. We are here. But now, in light of Voyager's discoveries, a darker question arises. If the helipause is a gate, if it reacts, if it signals, what does it mean that the first probe to cross it carried a map leading back to us? Did we extend a hand of friendship? Or did we reveal our greatest weakness? Voyager 2 was never expected to confront such questions. And yet, it drifts onward still. Its faint signal whispers across the abyss. It carries not just instruments and data. It carries our voice. Our story. Pressed in gold. Sailing into a realm we barely understand. It has shown us that our solar system is not adrift. It is sheltered by a fragile, breathing barrier. Beyond that barrier lies turbulence. Storms. currents that never rest. The galaxy beyond is not silent. It is structured. It is dangerous. And it is far closer than we once believed. Now, nearly half a century after its launch, Voyager continues deeper into the unknown. And the question that lingers, echoing across the silence between stars, is this: will Voyager